Hello there. My name is Ben Kench, and I'm committed and passionate about helping you grow your business and achieve the success you want in your life. Today, we're going to be able to look together at something else that when you've applied it to your business, it could have huge power and help you on your journey. So grab a pad and a pen and let's get to it. Let's grow this business fantastically. Now I'm going to let you into a secret. Actually, this is my favourite. And actually, this is undercurrent all the way through a lot of the ones we've already talked about. Because what I want to share with you right now, I think, is possibly the most powerful strategy to grow your business that could ever be found. Joint ventures. Now, a joint venture, a strategic alliance, in my humble opinion, this is such a powerful path. Lots of businesses have done it. Lots of people have tried and tested this model. This isn't new. It doesn't represent a huge expense. It does represent an investment of time. It does represent a whole heap of attention to detail and care. And it doesn't come off instantly. And that's possibly why most people don't like it. You see, in today's world, particularly with the internet, we've grown used to an instant response. We want immediate return. And frankly, that's not the way nature works. I believe that you get what you deserve, and in the long term, you get your full return, not necessarily immediately. Yes, we can accelerate things. You know, the principle of fertilizer, you can grow a plant and it will grow, or you can fertilize and add nutrients and the plant grows faster and stronger. So you can speed things up. But what you can't do is plant a seed and expect to harvest it straight away. Harvesting a seed, you need time for it to grow and you need to pay attention to it and nurture it. So a joint venture, a strategic alliance, basically it is a relationship. And you know about relationships. Some relationships just take time to develop. But if they're worth it, if they're meaningful, the value in them is, well, massive. And it could be a personal relationship or it could be one of the business relationships you already have. But a powerful relationship goes on and adds value. And what I'd like to think about and talk about for a moment is deliberately putting together a strategic alliance, a joint venture. It's when we talk about newsletter sharing, it's when we talk about exhibition sharing, but it's more than that. It's an extension of that. It's almost, look, you've got a problem, I've got a problem, we have a shared pool, let's just almost share business. And as you develop that relationship, you can get a very, very healthy cross-pollination, an open sharing of data and contacts. Now, you're not going to share with me your clients, and I'm not going to share with you straight away. But if we really knew each other well, and if over 12 or 18 months I'd met with you, dined with you, socialised with you, examined your business and let you examine mine, if I'd seen and tested your product and let you see and test mine, if I've seen what your clients say and seen if that's going to give good feedback, and I've let you see what my clients say, and if we've gone through all that process and you're sitting there and I'm sitting there and saying, yeah, that guy is great and he does an excellent product and it's not going to come back and bite me in the bum if I work with him, well, then we've got a dynamic situation that can really be utilised. I don't mind sharing if you're not competing. I don't mind sharing if what you've got is beneficial to my audience. And I don't mind sharing if I'm absolutely trusting, solid, that I know you're not going to let me down as a person or you're offering to my clients. But until I know all of that, I'm going to be very hesitant. We can form a massively powerful alliance, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. And so I want you to get your pad and I want you to scribble down potential partners and give this some thought over the next few hours, next few days. Who else serves your market sector? Who else has the same profile of client? Who else do you think you could combine product or service offerings with where there isn't a clash, there's not a threat, that company doesn't also offer what you do? But when you find that, you've probably found a little nugget that could be much, much precious gold. You find a little gemstone you found that can be massively valuable. Because if they don't do something that's similar and you have no threat, you can then strategically go through the process. Now, many companies have done this. This is not new. But I absolutely promise you that possibly what's lacking is the application to do it, because you've got too much else going on. You're too busy. You haven't got time. You've tried and it didn't work. You suggested it and they didn't grab it straight away. You sort of touched on the idea and did a bit for them, but they didn't respond. Don't be put off. Let's walk it through. I don't mind sharing with you. But the first time you come at me, I don't know you. So don't just say, hey, Ben, do you want to share? Because I don't know if you're good or bad or indifferent. So I might be very cool to the idea. And if that's been putting you off because your first response wasn't good, don't let it put you off. And then you come at me and we meet several times in network environments. We share contact, perhaps even at a function where we dine together or have a drink together or play a game of golf or similar sport together. And now I'm getting to know you as a person, which is pivotal. Absolutely critical. I want to know you. I want to know your morals, your ethics. You see, if we're joking and messing around over a game of golf, and in that social environment, what I detect is you have double standards. I've seen it, you've seen it. We're talking to somebody and they're almost joking about the way some of their clients reacted, but they almost make a brag about the fact that they didn't, so what, you can't be touched. And I'm reading that and I'm thinking, this guy's got double standards. He tells his clients he'll look after them and then he worms out of guarantees. Or actually he tells his product is excellent, but then it's not. And I'm thinking, this gentleman's got dubious morals. So I'm going to want to know that before I share with you. And I probably won't find that out until I'm in a social environment with you. So I'm not going to commit until we've had that. But if you're in that environment, you're watching, you're listening, you're learning. Don't be the one that lets down the guard. Oh, by the way, if you do let you down your guard, don't have any skeletons in the cupboard. Don't be two-sided or have an ethics that's not quite pure. You see, I'll soon find out. So there's a whole dynamic, there's a whole chemistry, but it can work massively. You see, if you find somebody you think you could work with and then spend time and you learn the character and you say they are honest, they do have business ethics, they're moral, they give a good product, have a good service, they try their best to please, they have a really good after-sale follow-up, they don't just dump on people. If all of that makes sense to you and resonates with you, well, you're going to be attracted to the way that person does business. The next level then is to see how the two odd offerings can be combined. The client base that you share. How could you merge messages? When you look at that and you put it together, you might have been kicking this around and chatting about it for 5 or 6 months. And then you have to kick it around and try 3 or 4 more times until you find a strategy that makes it financially viable so that you're not adding labour input or cash flow stress. And you put it all together and eventually you come up with something that you're both willing to try. But like anything, you don't expect it to try once and it's perfect. So you might have 2 or 3 mailers or 2 or 3 events or 2 or 3 newsletters before it really starts to return. And all of that process could be months. In fact, it may be a year or 2 or longer. The truth is, though, when you've gelled, when you and I know each other, I'm like, yeah, I'll share with you. I trust you. You don't compete. And actually, you've given me a chance to make more money because although I'm letting you work my client database and I'm sending your messages out on your behalf and I'm sharing a newsletter with you, actually, you've given me a reward for that as well. Not only are you saying, here's my database, work mine, so I've got another carrot and there's reciprocal arrangement here, but on top of that you're saying, Ben, I'll even give you a commission on what we sell as well. Now I'm interested, aren't I? You see, you know the most important thing to you? You. And underneath everything, we have to be selfish to survive. And if your business doesn't have some self-centered image, it's not going to live long. So there's nothing wrong with making sure it works for you financially, as long as I know that's not at my expense. So I would like you to get your pad now and get excited, because the big picture of joint ventures, the big picture with the strategic alliances, I've perhaps had 10 years growing my client base. You've possibly had 12 years growing your client base. In fact, organically, to grow a client base, we don't get many good ones every year. So to do it slowly, you could possibly add 10 or 20 or whatever your numbers are each year, but not masses. But I might be having 10 years worth of growth that you could access in less than 2. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, nothing will. If you can't see an acceleration plan there that's far better than anything else, well, you know you're blind. Because the truth is, you could get into 10 or 20 or 50 years history by having a good relationship after 10 or 20 months. And when you work at this strategically, you identify the person you think would be good, several of them. You make strategic time to get to know them. You deliberately take activity out of your daily activity because the end carrot is worth it. The value at the end is immense. That is what you call growing a business with forethought. That's why you'll win. And that's why a strategic alliance is so paramount. And if I had to put them in an order of ranking, I would put that as number 1, although the principles apply to all the others. So let it control your thinking. Get your pad and get excited. Think of potential places. Think of what you could do to develop the relationship. Think of how you might put an offer together. And when you've done all that, go out and try and don't be put off. Don't expect the first one to say, yes, fantastic. Don't expect the first attempt to work. And don't expect everything to go smoothly. But stick at it. Because if you want to grow your business without investing hundreds of thousands in marketing spend, working with someone that's already grown theirs is a very powerful way. And as long as there's something in it for me, and you're not a threat, and there's reciprocation, then you're going to get doors opened, and your future's going to be magical. So work at your joint ventures, strategic alliances. Make sure you plan for that one. Okay then. So thank you. Essentially, this stuff works. And my mission, as I said to you when we started, is that this can be applied to your business. You see, one thing I know, and I'm sure you do as well, business success isn't about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know. And this can work, but it must be applied. So take some time out now, work through your notes, and step by step, put all of these thoughts into your business. And if you need some more help, or you want to talk to any of the team, then access the websites and keep in touch. I'll see you at the top.